Publishing from a Visual Studio database project is pretty straightforward. Here I'm going to deploy the mortgage database project, which happens to also include the QBO standard project, to my local database. All I do is choose right-click and publish. Visual Studio will scan through all the source control files, building a schema or model representing the database. It's then going to prompt me to connect to an existing database, and it'll build a Delta script to update the existing database to match source. Okay, I've gotten a publish prompt, and I can do one of two things. I can edit the target database connection string pointing to my target database, or if I've done this in the past, I can simply load it from an existing profile. To speed things up, I'm going to load from an existing profile. Since I've created an existing profile using my own machine, here is my connection string, the database that I'm going to deploy to, and the name of the script that's going to be built. This can be changed. Notice that a bunch of variables are created and filled in on the bottom. They are specific to the machine you're targeting, so you need to make sure that the paths to the various files that are being referenced are valid on your target database. I'm going to click Advanced. This is not normally required for a publish. This is just to give you a sense of what it contains. Always check to make sure that block incremental deployment if data loss might occur is not checked, because any table changes will run a theoretical risk of data loss, but typically the database is backed up before the whole deployment is made anyway. Also note that backup a database before deployment should not be checked if you're deploying to RDS. For RDS backups, you need to go through the AWS Console Manager and issue a backup before going through this publish process. Now I can choose to either generate script or publish. The difference between the two is both of them will generate a Delta script that handles upgrading the database to the current match the current source control. Publish does both generate a script and executes the script. I'm going to choose generate script so we can take a look at what the script is before we actually run it. Generating the script, especially over a wide area connection, can take 5 or 10 minutes, so be patient on this. In this case, the Visual Studio is on the same machine as my local database, so it took just 1 minute to do the comparison. I'm going to view the script, and we see a TSQL script pop up in Visual Studio. When making changes to table structures, it's going to disable constraints. And here we see that there are some changes being made to the loan transaction table, loan transaction history table, public record table, etc., etc. I'm not going to worry about investigating the rest of this. I'm simply going to copy it to the clipboard, jump over to SQL Server Management Studio, and because I like to run things from SQL Server Management Studio, I'll just paste the script in here and run it. Notice that you don't have to copy this to SQL Server Management Studio. From Visual Studio, the publish option would generate this script, make it available to you, and then immediately execute the script for you. Once you're comfortable with publishing in the scripts that are generated, just go ahead and publish right from Visual Studio. Notice that at the top of the scripts, there are a bunch of SQL commands to set variables. For this to work, your query window set SQL command mode must be turned on. If it's not, this stuff will appear in white, and you may get squiggly marks indicating that this is syntactically not valid. We go to the query window, we make sure SQL command mode is turned back on, and everything is good. Now I'm going to execute.